Hey everyone, welcome to the final video in my coverage for the Summer Games Festival, and we are going to finish this off with probably the best conference this year, which was the Xbox Bethesda Showcase. So let's get into it. This showcase for the first time tempted me to actually buy an Xbox. As someone who has only owned PlayStation consoles and will continue to be a huge fan of PlayStation after this conference, I would be happy to try an Xbox because I think they actually have some compelling exclusives that are coming out and are truly worth buying a console for.
I'll never join the dark side.
Xbox conferences have always been about quantity over quality. They will really harp on about how they are announcing 75 plus games or whatever, and it will be 72 games that are pure crap that no one will care about or will ever play, and then 3 games that are kind of interesting. I think they got this showcase started off nicely, and it set the tone that this will be a better quality conference after Xbox bought Bethesda and a ton of other studios. The first game showcase was for Redfall, which is made by Arcane, and if you don't know Arcane, they have made the Dishonored games and most recently Deathloop. I've never played Dishonored, but I have played Deathloop and I had a good time with it. Redfall looks like a full evolution of the type of games that they make. They also announced that you can play this game either single player or multiplayer, which makes me happy as someone who much prefers to play single player. The gameplay looked really nice and completely turned me around because last year when they initially announced this game, I had absolutely no interest in it, but now I do.
Good job.
Another really cool announcement was High on Life, which has involvement from the creators of Rick and Morty. The guns talking to you is a really cool concept and it just looks like it has a lot of creativity behind it. The world also looks really colorful and vibrant, and I can't wait to check this one out. The only thing that I can see holding this back is maybe if the gameplay is too repetitive or the gun mechanics don't feel good, but from what I saw from the trailer, this looks like a lot of fun. There is always one underrated gem announcement that you never see coming at these showcases, and for me, this game represents that. We got some Plague Tale Requiem gameplay. I thought the first Plague Tale is a nice underrated gem that is worthy of a playthrough if you're into those single player linear story games. The second really just looks like more Plague Tale, which I don't mind because, as I said, the first one was a great time. However, it was a little disappointing that it doesn't look like that much of a leap from the previous one. It's cool that you can play this a little more aggressively rather than always hiding from enemies in the last one. It still looks like you can't get an all-out combat in this either, but you do have a little more at your disposal. I think one thing that should be improved is that element because getting insta-killed pretty much the minute you get spotted with minimal opportunities to go back into stealth was extremely frustrating. Diablo 4 got a gameplay showcase as well, which is another thing I have to credit this showcase for. It went down the showing gameplay route rather than being overly reliant on cinematic trailers. As someone who had a lot of fun playing through Diablo 3, I'm very excited for Diablo 4. The gameplay looks more violent than 3, and the world also looks much more darker, and I'm very excited about that. I'm a little nervous about this being an open world. I like the idea of it if it's executed well. I just don't know if Blizzard have what it takes to make this a very engaging world for Diablo 4. One of the most heartbreaking announcements for me as a PlayStation fan was that Hideo Kojima was at the showcase to announce that one of his next games will be on Xbox. I love Death Stranding, and I don't think the next one will be on Xbox. It will be the other rumored project that Kojima Productions is working on. After how much I love Death Stranding, I'm pretty much on the Kojima hype train, so I'll definitely be interested in finding out what that game is. I'm sure it'll be insane like most of his games are.
You are such a nutcase. I can't even begin to keep up.
The last announcement was the expected gameplay reveal for Starfield, Bethesda's new space RPG. The man, the myth, the legend Todd Howard was hyping up his game in usual fashion, and while it'll be interesting to see what he lied about in this game, from what I saw, I think this has the potential to be a Game of the Year contender. Now, I know there was some jank in the gameplay trailer. That doesn't bother me as much with them because they never really have been cutting edge in terms of their games. As long as this isn't broken like what Fallout 76 was, should be okay. The graphics, the shooting, and a lot of the gameplay mechanics actually look a lot better compared to Bethesda's other games. However, that combat and the boring No Man's Sky mining was a letdown, and I hope this game doesn't go down that route in terms of gameplay options. I did like some of the towns, and I'm interested into diving into some of those RPG mechanics and talking to all the NPCs. The building mechanics that were announced also look absolutely amazing and made me extremely excited for this game. The base building looks leagues better than Fallout 4, and the fact that you can create and customize your own ship is another great idea. I'm looking forward to flying around in space in this thing and going to some of these planets. I know it has been announced that there are around 1,000 planets, which makes me a little nervous because having that many worlds usually means that there isn't a whole lot of interesting places to explore. No Man's Sky has an endless amount of planets, and even though Hello Games have made so many improvements to that game, it is still pretty boring to play in my opinion. You have to really be into that game to like it, and I hope Bethesda doesn't go down that route. Overall, the Xbox Bethesda Showcase was really interesting to watch, and I think this was the best showcase from the Summer Games Festival. If you want to hear my thoughts about some of the other showcases, check out the playlist above to see what I think about the state of play and the Summer Games Festival Showcase. The last video I will make about the Summer Games Festival will be my most anticipated games from the whole showcase, and that will include game announcements from some of the other smaller showcases as well. So look forward to that. Remember to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.